Welcome to the second episode of On Track. I'm Chris from the New England chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. We're so glad you're joining us again. Sorry for the selfie mode. Mic's broken and I had to improvise. So we've had some good news, and we haven't had a lot of that these days. On June 17th, the Great American Outdoors Act made it through the Senate with a vote of 73 to 25, showing clear bipartisan support. But you know what? We're not done. It's on to the House. We need everyone to continue to pressure the representatives and get this to the president's desk. To get some more insight, I spoke to Julia Peebles, BHA's government relations manager from DC. Here's what she had to say. So here we are. We had some really good news last week with this bill passing through the Senate. And for a lot of people, they talk about this as being the tough part, but like we're far from done. So can you talk a little bit about where this has to go from this point to get it to the president's desk?
Yeah, of course. So thank you, Chris, for having me and the New England chapter. You guys have been doing great work on this, so much appreciated. So like you referenced, the Senate did pass a bill last week with a great vote of 73 to 25. So that just shows the wide support that we have for the Great American Outdoors Act. But like you said, we're not done yet. It was a big historical hurdle that we passed, but we still have to get it through the House and across the finish line. So there's two big things that we really need to do to make this happen. And if you tuned in on Wednesday with Lantani and Congressman Cunningham, Democrat from South Carolina, and Fitzpatrick, Republican from Pennsylvania, they really highlighted and emphasized the need to, one, co-sponsor the House bill, which is HR 7092. And the second one is to make sure that your representatives pass a clean, Great American Outdoors Act without amendments. So that's like the next step that we really need you guys to contact your reps. You guys have great senators and just lawmakers in general in the New England area. For instance, one of the champions in the Senate was Angus Keene, independent from Maine. And I expect the same thing on the House, but I was looking through the list before getting on with you today, Chris, and people that should be on from Massachusetts, from, I would say, even Rhode Island, Connecticut, they are not all on when they should be co-sponsoring the House bill. So I really encourage you guys to reach out to your members of Congress and make this happen. We're expecting the bill to hit the House floor at the end of July. So that looks like the week of July 20th or July 27th. So it seems like we have a little bit of a window, but I highly encourage you to contact your rep today, if possible. The earlier they hear from you, the more likely that they'll understand what the bill does and the importance it is for making it a top priority for hunters and anglers.
Great.
So two ways that you can, go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we get on to talking about what we can do, the action we can take, how we communicate and contact these folks, I do want to ask one question about, you mentioned keeping the bill clean. Can you talk a little bit about what that means and any other sort of obstacles that might sort of be in the way there?
Yeah, of course. So keeping the bill clean, just like the Senate version, it means it has no amendments, very basic. It's the Great American Outdoors Act language. So that includes the dedicated funding for Land and Water Conservation Fund, as well as the $1.9 billion annually over 5 years for the maintenance backlog piece on our public lands and waters. So if we don't keep it clean in the House, there's going to be issues, right? There's going to be obstacles that we have to endeavor. Not only will representatives, if one person puts an amendment in, everyone wants a slice of the pie, right? But then once that happens, it will have to go back to the Senate to be considered, and there's really no appetite on the Senate floor to make this happen again. So this is really our chance to get it across the finish line, and that's why it's really critical to make this bill clean.
Great. So what's our step? Who do we contact? What's the best way? The president said he will sign this if it gets to him. So how do we put this pressure on everybody?
Yeah, so there's two really easy ways for you guys to reach out to your representative. One is through our website at backcountryhunters.org. There is a Take Action tab on the front page that you can just click, fill out your information. The letter's already drafted, and it will send straight to them with the same ask that we provided earlier: co-sponsor the House bill and pass a clean bill. And then Or you can do another really easy thing. It's just to pick up the phone, call the Capitol switchboard at 202-224-3121. And then they'll direct you to their office and urge them to support the House bill and pass a clean bill.
Great. Thank you so much for your time on this. And again, let us know if there's anything that we can do to make a bigger impact.
Yeah, please just keep contacting them. The more they hear from you, the better. I mean, I'm getting, I text Cunningham and Simpson's office, who are the two leads of this bill, on a daily basis. And they're hearing from BHA members, which is pretty exciting. A lot of House members really didn't know what this bill was until, after the Senate, and we pivoted, but they're hearing from us. So everything that you guys are doing is working. So please keep up the great work. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for all that you're doing down there.
Yeah, of course. Happy to do it. This is fun for me.
Thank you. Again, the time is now. Please continue to remind your representatives that this is a priority. Also, there are a number of New England lawmakers that have yet to co-sponsor this bill. If you see your representative listed, please urge them to co-sponsor. For resources, head over to backcountryhunters.org, or you can email the chapter at newengland@backcountryhunters.org for assistance. That's it for now. We'll see you again soon with another episode featuring some New England specific content, news, and information. Until then, get outside.